I have recently moved home. After living for about 2 years in the southeast of Bangkok, I have moved west and now live close to the old town, near Rama VIII Bridge. You can actually see the bridge behind me right here. I moved because my partner got a new job in the old town, which is just on the other side of that bridge, and we wanted to make her commute to work a bit easier, so we've ended up settling in this neighbourhood. I've been living here for a few weeks now, and I can already say that I much prefer it here. Although the distance between this condo and the old one is only a matter of about 15 kilometers, the feeling in this part of the city is so different, and to me so much more interesting. In this video, I wanted to try and share with you some of the things that I think make this area so special. I now live just a stone's throw away from the old town, which is home to the majority of the city's major landmarks. Since I'll be living here for at least the next year, it means that I have a great opportunity to explore many of these landmarks and to get to know the historic part of the city much better. It also means that I will now have frequent opportunities to take photos here. For many street photography enthusiasts, I would imagine that the chance to take photos at spots like Khao San Road or Chinatown would be a dream come true. But for me, these destinations are now a part of my daily life. And it's amazing to me to think that I now have such easy access to these places, and to know that I can just grab my camera, go out and take photos at these spots whenever I wish. To get to the old town, I have to pass through a small neighbourhood near Rama VIII Bridge. This area is so different from the shiny, modern parts of the city that I'm used to on Sukhumvit Road. Here there is still a sense of community, this neighbourhood is filled with life, and the streets are all interconnected, which makes walking around this area a lot more fun than other parts of the city. This neighbourhood is just beside the river, and I like coming here to relax and watch the boats pass by. I grew up near the seaside, and perhaps because of that, I have always felt happy when living close to water, and I've always felt miserable whenever I've lived in places that feel landlocked. I'm not sure if other people feel this way too, but for me at least, I know that being near the water brings me some peace, and so another benefit of moving here for me is this area's proximity to the river. Beside the river, there are also many beautiful temples to visit, and perhaps I'll cover some of them in more detail in other videos. Ever since I moved Condo a few weeks ago, I've been spending a lot of my spare time wandering around these streets, trying to take photos and figuring out how locals would react to me being here. This is an area which I would imagine few foreigners come to, so of course I stick out like a sore thumb. On the other side of this neighbourhood is Rama VIII Bridge, and as you walk through this area, this enormous landmark starts to come into view. Under the bridge there's a very lively community. After living for a long time in an area with no outdoor life to speak of, it's so nice to be in a place like this and to see people out socializing and having fun. The number of outdoor activities on offer here is surprising. You can even get your eyes tested if you need to. To get to the old town, I have to cross this bridge, which I personally think is one of the most impressive landmarks in Bangkok. I'm sure I will end up taking hundreds of photos of this bridge over the next year or so. Up here, I really enjoy looking out over the river and watching the boats sail under the bridge. The staircase under the other side of the bridge is surprisingly elegant, and I think this would be a pretty nice place to take photos, were it not for the fact that it's very dark and almost entirely covered in bird poo. Despite that, I still think there's potential to take some nice photos here. So that was a brief look at my new neighbourhood. I suppose you'll likely see more of it in future videos. The side of the bridge I'm now on is part of the old town, and as you can see, it's within easy walking distance for me. One of the oddities of Bangkok is that, despite being packed with important cultural landmarks, the old town is surprisingly difficult to get to. There's an MRT stop at Wat Mang Khon in Chinatown, and another at Sanam Chai near Museum Siam, but that's about it. I still find that remarkable. If, for example, a place like Khao San Road were in London, there'd be an underground stop either end of it, but that's not the case here. If you're a tourist visiting this city, or an expat living on the other side of it, you have to hire a taxi to get to many of the key sites here. One consequence of this is that despite having lived in Bangkok for some time now, I haven't really spent that much time in the old town, and I don't know this area very well. Perhaps that's also true for many other people living in Bangkok. But now that all these places are within walking distance, I'm really looking forward to spending more time in this part of the city, getting to know this area better, and hopefully sharing my experiences with you.